Francis was just a cat too.
Oh, yeah.
Right? So Charlie, Francis, Jean, Ivan.
Right, those four.
I don't miss them at all. My mama's name is Jean, and I won't even call her by her name. You know what I'm saying?
That's serious.
That's true. I'm joined by meteorologist Candace Campos here. We've got some serious business going on. This storm is nasty looking. It's deep. It's strong. The eye is perfectly defined. It's lambasting our friends in Freeport, Grand Bahama Island right now. I'm going to start out with this, and then Candace is going to do impacts in just a moment. What you're looking at is what we call an infrared satellite shot, and it shows the eye pretty well. We're going to zoom in a little bit tighter here on me and this thing, and you see what's happening here. There's Grand Bahama Island. During the overnight hours this morning, it came up just to the east of Andros Island, approaching Freeport. In this area, look at those wave heights tonight. I mean, that's just crazy. 22-foot waves just off the coast of Freeport, 10-foot waves out in the open water. Now, by the time it gets on shore tonight in our backyards, we don't expect the wave heights to be quite that huge up close. But offshore, they're going to be monstrously big, and there will be big waves and big storm surge, and Candace will talk all about impacts as we roll our way, not just in the next few minutes, but through the entire night tonight. It's going to be a tough run. Out in front of this storm tonight, there's nothing to slow it down now. I keep saying that because it's flat out the truth. Between Freeport, Grand Bahama Island, and us is open water. 86-degree water, 85, 83, 84. To get a hurricane going, you only need a temperature on the surface of the ocean of about 80. The energy is abundant. There's nothing to slow it down. It's marching our way. Come take a look at radar right now. Here's Brevard County. This is the area we're going to be concerned about first tonight. The big bands are going to start coming in here in the next several hours. It's already 8 o'clock, 8:03 and 14 seconds. So give it another couple of hours. More of the banding will start to show up, and we'll be talking about high wind around the midnight hour that really builds until about 3 or 4 in the morning before that eye can make it across the ocean and threaten us in central Florida. You see the big explosive rain and the lightning strikes around Freeport. It has worked its way on. We talked about it wobbling last time I was on, and that's the part that is scary. The rainfall rates in there are almost 2 inches per hour, and the rainfall totals for us are going to be huge too. Right now, the outer eye wall is 75 miles away from making landfall there, 68 miles away from West Palm, and 72 away from Fort Lauderdale. From our coast right now, I put the arrow on and we track it from right there in the eye all the way up to the Cape. It's about 156 miles, but it's moving on and wobbling on, and I think it will be here during the day tomorrow and haunt us throughout the afternoons too, ripping up our coastside as the day wears on. Rainfall tonight falling all across Lake County. You see Highway 50 into Claremont, raining hard, 536 into Williamsburg, Dr. Phillips, Oak Ridge, Belle Isle, Conway, out by the airport, back over to Windermere. No matter where you pick out a point, chances are it's raining, has rained, or is about to rain as these lines keep coming through. Heavy rain in Sanford, almost 2 inches per hour. Midway getting big rain too. Here we go on over to Edgewater, New Smyrna, Bethune Beach. You know the drill. You're getting rain, pulsing up, sometimes as much as 2 to 3 inches per hour, and then dropping right back down. Lighter rain showers from Ocala all the way up to Reddick, but some of these heavier bands eventually will make their way up. As the storm system itself moves from here all the way up, those heavy bands will extend all the way into Ocala. Future radar for the next couple of hours showing you how those bands are going to come on through. And anytime one of the bands comes on through, remember that when you hear the roaring of the rain, that rain is ushering in the wind too. So be ready for that as we go through the evening hours and the first half, well, gosh, the entire day tomorrow. We're going to be dealing with it. Here's Hurricane Matthews tracked from the National Hurricane Center, approaching landfall by 2 in the morning, way down south, and then making landfall along the Brevard County coast before edging its way up to, say, Volusia County as the day wears on tomorrow. Here's that close-up shot. That number 3 right there, Category 3 storm for you on top of Brevard County, Volusia County and Flagler by 2 p.m. tomorrow afternoon, which tells you just how long of a slug we're in for. Watches and warnings for tonight. The hurricane warnings are up for just about everyone, and if you don't have a hurricane warning, if you're in the yellow, that's Marion County, Lake County, Sumter County, and Polk. You have a tropical storm warning. Let's check in now with meteorologist Candace Campos. Candace, talk to us about what's going on and what we can expect for impacts.
Yeah, absolutely. We are going to continue to see that timeline break down throughout the next couple of hours. Temperatures are going to be staying very steady, but again, when it comes to that rain and the wind, we are going to see it progress and conditions deteriorate very quickly. So let's break it down here. And from now through midnight, feeder bands will begin, and they've already have begun. Gusty winds will be the big concern at time. Already we're getting reports of over 22,000 people already without power in Brevard County, and that again is just some minor gusty winds that we are seeing from some of these feeder bands, very moderate feeder bands, because the heavier stuff starts coming in throughout the overnight hours. So from midnight on Friday through 8 a.m. on Friday morning, damaging winds, heavy banding begins. That's when we really start to see the roaring rain, the howling winds. That is going to be the big bullseye during that time. By Friday morning into noon, relentless rain. This is when we are going to see more of the issues of flooding, hence why we are under a flood watch for the entire viewing area. Hurricane conditions will continue. That means sustained winds of 74 miles an hour to about 130, primarily for areas within that hurricane warning that you just saw from Tom. That includes Seminole County, Orange County, Osceola, and along the coastline. For Friday at noon through the evening hours, hurricane force winds will primarily favor the northern portions as it moves towards the north. So places across the southern half, Brevard, Osceola, conditions will gradually start to improve, and the cleanup process can really begin for everybody on Saturday. But I really wanted to break down here the categories. I hinted to it just a few minutes ago. This is what each category means, because some people haven't been through a storm before. Some people have only been through a Cat 1 or Cat 2. A Cat 4 is very different, so that's why we wanted to break it down. Dangerous winds with Cat 1, minimal damage. Winds are going to be between about 74 to 95 miles an hour. Minor roof and gutter, some siding damage would be possible, and some downed trees and power lines. Some more of the trees that are rooted a little bit more on the shallow side. As we progress through the data, we are going to continue to see, though, the possibility of Cat 2 system here. Extreme winds, extensive damage, 96 to 110 miles an hour. That could be a possibility across the interior locations. So with that, extremely dangerous winds will cause extensive damage. We're talking major roof, siding damage as well, uprooted trees, power loss is certainly expected in the widespread range. As we talk about Category 3, this now marks a major category system, 111 to 129 miles an hour around that center. And when it comes to Hurricane Matthew, that hurricane force wind extends about 60 miles, so it is a very large system. Major damage of roof decking, shingles will be flying off, tiling will be falling off as well. Many trees will be uprooted along areas. Some neighborhoods, your entire tree canopy down your street could be going down. Electricity and water will be available for those areas, dealing again with Category 3 winds. Category 4, this is what the National Hurricane Center is expecting Matthew to be as it approaches the Brevard County coast. Catastrophic damage, 130 to 156 miles an hour. As of now, the forecast cone is calling for a weak Category 4 system. But even with that, we're talking about catastrophic damages, homes with severe damage. Most trees will be snapped and uprooted, and most power poles will be down, which is why we are going to be seeing a lot when it comes to electricity issues, as well as covered streets. Everything is going to be very, very difficult to get through early Saturday morning, which is why that cleanup process will have to begin by this weekend. We'll send it back to you guys.